A is for Allah, nothing but Allah. Ba is the beginning of Bismillah. Ta is for taqwa, bewaring of Allah. And Tha is for thawab, a reward. Ja is for Jannah, the garden of paradise. Ha is for...
What's up, YouTube? This is your boy Paragon. I just wanted to say what's up. It's been a while. I haven't made a video in a minute. I just wanted to announce to the world that I've done it. I have completed a major task, and the task being that I have read the Quran. Let me give you a background story on what happened. My friend talked to me about a year ago, last summer, stating that he was concerned about me. He knew that I was a very smart person, and he's a Muslim, and he wanted me to read the Quran because we've had many discussions about it before. However, I never undertook to read the Quran. So he gave me a very stern talk about the possibility of going to hell, and I figured that I'll take him on his challenge, and I start reading the Quran. This particular version is the Yusuf Ali, Abdullah Yusuf Ali version, which was given to me by a friend at work. So that's the one that I started to read. I gave myself a deadline of 3 months to read it, but I finished about a year later because other things got in the way. I had distractions. My disposition at the time of the reading the Quran was that I'm going to give it a go. Basically, I just wanted to find out more about the religion. You know how different things happen, and they say that's not a true Muslim, or this is not Islam, or things of that nature. But by reading the book, I was hoping to get some better clarification on what is what, who is who, and find out where the mindset of the Muslim comes from and everything like that. I already knew a lot about, enough about Islam to feel comfortable with it. I knew about the 5 pillars. I have real life experiences with Islam or Muslims. I visited different mosques, to include Nation of Islam mosques and Sunni mosques around the area, and also I've been to the Middle East, and so I've met different kinds of Muslims. So I had more experience than the average Joe. My first impressions of the Quran were that it was very beautiful. I started actually reading a Quran that I had in the Kingdom of Jordan, and I thought it was pretty beautiful as far as like the poetry, and I was impressed by the Prophet's relationship with Khadijah, his main wife, and I thought they were equals, something that's very rare as far as like the people that I knew from that area and from the biblical point of view. So I was impressed with that. That was my first brief reading of the Quran, and then I got the challenge and I started reading the book. My approach was to do it chapter by chapter at first, but then I figured I'd read the whole book like a regular book. I wrote down notes, and I have to go back and to excavate what it is that I was trying to ask a question about, because I have Muslim friends that I'm going to go and I'm going to talk to them about it. So that's what I'm going to do. So instead of just stopping and like bombarding them with a lot of questions, I figured I'd read the book, and then maybe the questions would be answered when I continue reading the book. Okay, so the good things about the Quran are that it has expensive vocabulary. I learned a lot of new words, so I had to underline and look up a lot of new words. In the Abdullah Yusuf Ali version, it engages the reader to think and promotes thinking. Unlike the biblical people and the Christians, there's a notion that you should not use your mind, basically. How does the saying go? Do not rely on your own understanding. Let go, let God. Let the Holy Spirit, guide you. But they don't really promote thinking in Christianity, at least from my experience. And by thinking, I mean my kind of thinking. I mean, people ask regular questions. I don't. I'm gonna get after you. So it engages thinking. It has some comedy in it, like the character of Allah sometimes comes off as a joke to me. Like he says, "What?" Like he gets upset and surprised. I guess it's kind of funny. The use of the word atom, atom, is very caught my attention, because Muslims try to say that the Quran is scientific, but we'll get into that. Basically, what I think happens that the writers, the translators, and I do know that Muslims say that it's not what I read was not the real Quran. The real Quran is in Arabic, and I have a real Quran with the English translation by Yusuf Ali as well, the green one, the very nice decorated one, with Yusuf Ali's notes. I didn't want to read this one and make writings on it because it's very pretty, and then his notes are, I think, kind of biased already. He's not objective. He's already Muslim. He's selling the faith, even though this is his too, but it's minus the notes so I can read for myself. Okay, let me see what else. Nature. It talks about nature. Observe nature. Don't you see the sun? Don't you see the moon? Don't you see the sky? Don't you see the animals? It talks a lot about nature. Explore it. From that you'll derive that there is a God, and by the way, his name is Allah, and he has a thing for Arabic, and he has prophets and things of that nature. So the bad is very repetitive, over and over and over again. It's the same thing. The Quran can be very, very, very small. The highlights are brief. There's only one God. He hates when people associate partners with him. He has people who do work for him. They're called messengers. You have to obey them, like obey everything they say. Okay, things of that nature. Be good. Don't do bad. People might make fun of you, but but Allah is gonna take care of them mainly by roasting them in fire, and everybody else gets to go to a garden, a heaven that's very awesome, and you get to have virgins. It's true. It's in there. Boring. It's very boring. Towards the end, I was like, man, let me just get through this. It was very boring. Presumptions. It's very presumptuous. It talks for non-believers. I don't like that. So it's like it's telling people what the unbelievers at that time or maybe now says. It reminds me of a style of frequently asked questions. Like, so they did a very good job of parlaying all the frequently used objections against Islam into the book, so that the Muslim will say, oh wow, I'm getting the same kind of beef from non-believers. That's because they figured out the same thing that I figured out in the book. Arrogant. It claims like it's all that, like, and it blames other people from being arrogant. The shaitan was arrogant for refusing to submit to Adam, and they use the word arrogance a lot. So if you may not agree with the Quran, you might be shown arrogance, and I think that's really silly. Silliness it has a lot of silly parts into it, and when I point that out to people, they're like, well, I mean, can Allah do anything? I'm like, I don't know. I don't even think that Allah exists, but I mean, but it's silly. Mostly the story of Solomon, it was quite entertaining. I wonder, just like the Bible, will they ever actually make a movie about this book? Because it's hard. So my final thoughts on the Quran is basically this: it's plagiarized. People that don't know or don't agree will usually not study the Bible. They say it's been changed, the Bible. It has been changed, but that doesn't mean that the product after the Bible is not going to be affected by those changes. I don't think that Muslims really take that into account. The Bible is very bad itself. It's barbaric. It's disgusting in a lot of ways. And so if you take some of the aspects from the Bible into the Quran, then I mean you're how can he be illiterate and and brilliant. I think Muhammad or the writers were brilliant, but you don't have to be literate to know how to listen to other people's stories and import them into a book and tell other people to write for you. I find that Muslims think that the Quran is only good when it agrees with the Bible, and if the story does not agree with the Quran, then they just say that, well, you know, they changed it. And I just think that's a brilliant marketing move. So that's pretty much it. I can go into more details, and I think I will. So I just want to share my thoughts with you as far as what I found with the Quran. Alright, so I'll talk to you later.